Hello ladies and chaps, and a jolly good welcome to you. I am Kertier. Thank you very much for joining me for this update video for Hellion. It's been a month since the last patch, and as they're doing it monthly now, it's now time for update 0.2.4. So it's all exciting and lots of new features and improvements and bug fixes and all that good stuff. And before I continue, I just need to apologise for my lack of activity lately. It's been the school holidays here in England for the children, and my son's been off school, so I've been spending a bit more time with my family rather than doing this, and that's why there's not really been a lot of videos, and there's been more streams than anything really. But yes, anyway, enough of that crap. On to the update. So the list of improvements is, well, it's huge actually. Particularly the list of bug fixes. I'm not going to go through them all because I'll be here until tomorrow. But yeah, the general gist of it is that they've made good use of their month to update things. The good old devs we have for this game, and I'm going to go through the main points now, the ones that are probably more interesting to the average player of the game. So starting with, well, I'm going to start from the top and work my way down, basically, the ones that I consider to be more interesting than the not so interesting ones. Yes. So, Nav Map Improvements, let's have a look, shall we? Right, so Nav Map has had optimization, and what else is there on here? Nav Map now properly groups overlapping nearby objects. Players can click the group icon to display a list of all nearby objects. I take that to mean that, you know, like where I am now, for example, here, there you go, there's the list. So if I click on that, or if I just hover over it, it brings up a list of all the objects in that area. Whereas before, each thing would be separate, each thing would have its own little marker on the map or whatever. Sometimes it got a bit hard to actually have a good look to see what was about, and to warp there, because you start overlapping yourself. You couldn't actually click on it to set up a warp thingy. What else have we got? Ship icon now always visible on the nav map. Okay, I didn't know it wasn't before anyway. Obviously, this icon displays a group, I'm assuming, because when you see asteroids on their own, it looks like an asteroid. When you hover over the group thing, it's got a list, whereas that's just the one. So that looks nice. Oh crap, what have I done? Okay, so remove warp line when warp finish or failed, that's great, and removed obsolete nav map filter options from the interface. It goes without saying, I don't think I need to display what either of them two things mean. So that's it for the nav map really. It looks nicer, it's easier to use, I guess. Yes, very good. Now for the bit that's probably more interesting to some, depending on what you like. Ship engine tweaks. Now this is going to be the fun bit now. The part of the video I actually have to do something. Right. Okay, so ship's engine tweaks. And this is the part where you have to be a bit careful because it's been changed. So if I just read it out verbatim, ship's engine controls reworked. When ship engines are activated, default key enter. So now the enter key will turn on the ship's engines rather than having to press this button down here. You can still do that if you like, but if you just press enter, the engines will power up. I've obviously already done that, so they're already on. So default key enter. Players can use standard forward, backward controls. Obviously WS for me. I don't know how everyone else has their controls, but for me it's standard default WS. To accelerate, decelerate using engines instead of RCS. Players also have the option to set constant engine thrust values for longer journeys. Default keys, number pad, plus and minus. So if you just want to just get a bit of acceleration, which I'm about to do. I'm currently 1.5 kilometers away from my outpost, so I'm going to start heading towards that to demonstrate this. So yeah, if I just press W, if you look down the bottom left at the engine status there, and it disappears again. As soon as you take your finger off, it goes back, whereas before it remained a constant thing. So if I just do that again, I'm now moving forward at 63 meters per second, and creep forward even further. Oh, that's a bit too much. Let's just pull back there. As you can see, I'm closing at a high rate, so just going to pull back on the stick slightly. You have to use little baby touches. Strongly advise a light finger on the controls there, because you will end up smashing into whatever it is you're heading towards quite easily. But I think that is a brilliant little change there. It makes using the engine controls a lot easier than what they were the ship's main engines before. They were a pain in the ass to use. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try the constant value, which is basically how it was before. Number pads will set a constant speed, or constant acceleration, not speed, because it's not value or speed, it's acceleration value. And if you hit your W or S key, it will basically make it go back to normal 0 again. Quite handy. I like it. It's a nice little change. The other point here for ship's engine tweaks is engine power consumption is tweaked. Power supply screen should now display proper values when the engines are operational. I'm assuming they're talking about the power supply screen at the back of the ship. I'm not entirely sure what else it could mean, but obviously I'm in the cockpit, so I can't really see that from here. Right, so I'm just going to fly back to the outpost now. I'm 7.6 kilometers away, and well, now 8 kilometers away. I'm moving away from it at quite a high rate. So let's head back using the ship's engines. And as you can see by the meter per second thing there, I'm now positive value towards it, which is nice. And it's a very fast closure rate, I must admit. It's very nice. It's going to save on a lot of time RCSing around in space in your ship, and yeah, all that stuff. Just takes baby little touches on the controls just so that you don't smash into anything yet. As I'm sure most of you who play this game have seen the new artwork on the load up showing two mules smashing into each other. That's obviously a bit of a teaser, I believe, for ship-to-ship combat, which is hopefully coming soon. I can't wait, it's going to be great. Alright, other general improvements. So players can now check blog news in-game home screen change to fit blog news. Yeah, I'm sure you've all noticed that. Nice little startup bit. So, other news, added confirmation before applying video settings. It is what it is. Texture quality slider can only be adjusted when in menu, as it's out of game. It is disabled by default when in game. I'm not sure what texture slider they're referring to there. I don't mess around with the textures too much. I kind of leave it how it is. There's a bunch of stuff about servers or automatic server restart after predefined amount of time. So you can obviously set your server to rewipe, I believe, if you have your own server. And there's added report server option in the server list. That might come in quite handy because over the last month, as fun as it's been playing Hellion, there has been plenty of, well, 2 servers I've played on have both basically gone down and I've had to kind of restart. Nil disparandum, it's not a big deal. Whatever it might be, whatever the problem might be, that obviously now allows us to report it straight to the devs as soon as it happens. There's an added tooltip information when trying to loot dead bodies, default key F. I can't really show you that because there's no dead bodies here, unfortunately. If I had one, I'd show you. Okay, so for stations, pre-made stations. Disabled all docking ports on pre-made stations. Players can no longer dock a command module to take ownership of pre-made stations. So you can no longer basically find yourself a nice station and basically take over the place. You have to build it yourself. Lazy buggers. On top of that, the call ship and stress call buttons from pre-made stations has been removed as well. Not 100% sure if that is a brilliant move myself. I don't really know. I'm not sure what to think of it, but I'm sure there's good reason for it. I'll just have a quick look through the window here on the station. As you can see, no distress call button, if you can see in there. There we go. Yep, as you can see, no distress call button anywhere in sight, or call ship. So, well, that's that basically. We'll have to wait and see to see if that's a good thing or not. Okay, on to the security improvements. All lockable doors linked to the security system. Players who are on the authorized personnel list on the ship / command module security panel can now open or close locked doors. To be honest with you, I thought that was how it was anyway. So for me, that doesn't make a huge amount of difference. I thought you couldn't get into a locked door unless you either hacked in or if you kind of were guarded as crew by the security terminal. So that sounds nice, but again, for me, it doesn't make a great deal of difference because I'm a little bit, well, ignorant basically. Some of the time, I didn't realise that was a thing. On top of that, ships no longer transfer their security authorization to docked grappled modules. As a result, turrets that spawn in various modules remain hostile even when module is docked grappled to the ship. So before, if you connected your ship up to a base or whatever, your ship security terminal would basically go to the whole station. or all the modules attached there. So if there are turrets in there, they would be friendly to you and hostile to people not on your security list. Now, it no longer overrides the module or station that you're attached to, so therefore, as it says, turrets will no longer be under your control, and you're very likely to have your head blown off by said turrets if you try to approach them. And as a final point on that, command modules now properly transfer authorization to all docked modules and turrets. That's very nice to know, seeing as that is what it's supposed to do. So all turrets and modules that are connected in some way or another to a command module, and you are the king on that command module, you are on the security terminal, you'll be safe from turrets, and all the modules attached therein will also be under your control, which is basically what it's supposed to do. So that's the end of this update video from me. I know I've missed out many points from the update patch notes. I've just tried to cover the main point, what I consider to be the main points, sort of game-changing kind of points in it. So if you're unsure of anything, have a quick scroll through the patch notes if you haven't done already. And if you're still not sure, come along to one of the many Discord servers. The devs are often online, as well as many players who have thousands and thousands of hours between them. Very experienced players and testers who can demonstrate to you things through video or in-game, or they can explain to you anything you're not entirely sure of. So I'll leave links for some of the Discord servers I am present on in the description. You're probably already there, some of you that are watching this. Again, I apologise for a few weeks of silence from myself. I've explained why that is already. So yeah, it's time to get back into business and start pumping out more videos. So expect more to come. The Hellion PvP event I've been planning is still creeping forwards. It's still gaining momentum gradually, slowly but surely. So look out for that. Look out for news on that from the devs and myself. That is going to be a thing soon, hopefully. So yes, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I am Curtier. I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you and goodbye.